But Chukwu Abiyama alone do we worship. That is why we offer him praise. That is why we offer him adoration and adulation. That is why we have come to submit all that we are today, likely to be tomorrow, and any time in the future, to the mercy and the grace of the throne of heaven. Therefore, Chukwu Okike Abiyama, ekekere eluigwe n'ụwa ọbasi bi n'igwe, nna eze onye ebube, na ngọzi na n'otuto na ịja mma niile, onye nwe m na Chineke. Anyị na-akpọku aha nsọ nke gị. Anyị na-erubere gị isi, na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, n'ihi na onweghị onye ọzọ anyị ga-efe ma ọ bụ naanị gị Jehova. Only you are we going to worship. Therefore, we present before you this very evening. We are fallible. We are blemished. But we trust in you and not in man. Therefore, this very entity, this very sceptered land that you bequeathed to our ancestors, this very place that when you were bringing us to, there was no Awusa Fulani anywhere to be seen. But we became so sinful that the very uncircumcised, the very, very Gentile, that is, the white people, British especially, they came, they pillaged, they killed, they colonized, and they handed over your children to those who don't know you. They handed us over to those people. And here we are today. We cannot even worship you properly. We are petitioning you, Chukwu Abiyama, in heaven. Please have mercy upon us. Have mercy upon your children. As we sang when we were younger, please, my Lord, be merciful unto your children. This wasn't your plan for us. There was no time you created us to become subservient. Can you how can your children be slaves? How can your children, your handiwork, the people that you made, how can they become subservient to those who don't worship you? Unthinkable. Is there anything that you want us to do that we are not doing? Is there any other special way? Chukwu Abiyama binigwe, in what way have we wronged you? Are you not merciful anymore? Why are we being humiliated? Why are we being shamed this very way? We call upon your grace with every authority bestowed in us as your children to ask you to come down here to give us the courage, the strength, and the fortitude to resist this very evil that is fast advancing and enveloping your children. Never forget that we represent the light. You created us to bring light to this very darkened and hate-filled continent. The time has come for you to make us whole once again. We have sinned and we have confessed openly. We call upon you. We have nobody else if not you. Chukwu Okike Abiyama. We have nobody else. Nobody else. We have nobody. That is why we come to you. You are not man. Please be merciful. Please raise your children from all over the world, from IPOB families all over this very planet. Give them the vision, the wisdom, the understanding to discern what is to come, and to render every help at their disposal to ensure that your glory will be witnessed upon this very earth, as was prayed for by Yahweh Yeshua, that your kingdom will come and your will be done on this earth as it is in heaven. So Biafra ka na your Chineke. I don't want money. I don't want anything to do with wealth. All I want is Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. We are not doing anything with wealth and riches. So when you have Banco, absolutely nothing. All we ask for is Biafra. That your name may be worshipped, that you may be praised. Mankind, because of Biafra, will come back to you once again. They will say, we did everything to stop them, but they prevailed. That means that their God is very, very strong. And when they come to us and ask us, please tell us the name of this your God, we tell them, Chukwu Okike Abiyama. We do so that your name may be praised now and to eternity. He said,
hello, dear friends and lovers of freedom, listening and watching us all over the world. I welcome you to Sunrise BTV. My name is Mazi Victor Onyido. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and I have Mazi Oriakubrai with me in the studio. Mazi Oriakubrai, can you say hello to the people?
Good morning, lovers of freedom, dear friends all over the world. Welcome to Sunrise Daily News Analysis.
All right, thank you very much. You can do good to share our program in all social media spaces. We are on Skype, we are on YouTube, we are on Periscope, we are on Twitter, we are also on WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. Also, you can hit us up on our website, which is www.biafratv.co. Alright, do good to call your neighbor, your friends and well-wishers, and even the critics. Tell them to come close so that they can listen to the gospel of truth as we are going to unleash them here. And also, after some couple of analysis, we are going to get hooked up with our brother Mazi Elvis Ondiwe, who is also going to analyze from his own end. And after that, when we come back from break, we are going to open our phone lines for you to call to bring your contribution and also to ask your question if you have any. Once again, my name is Mazi Victor Onyido, and this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and I have Mazi Bright Oriako with me in the studio. All right, Mazi Oriako Bright, good morning and welcome once again.
Thank you so much.
All right, yesterday we started talking about the devil's alternative, although since the past week we've been discussing about the intricate aspects of the aftermath of the Nigerian election, of which a lot of controversies, a lot of issues has just been coming up. But yesterday we started talking about the devil's alternative. And Mazi Bright, you have been doing a good job in educating our people about what the devil's alternative are and what we are likely to expect. So please, can you go ahead and tell us more about the devil's alternative?
Yes, we are the indigenous people of Biafra, and we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. We are being led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We stand for the truth. We want to restore the dignity of human beings, because we live in a land that have been colonized and recolonized, and of course we are the indigenous people of Biafra, and we are determined to get our land back, and of course not just to get our land back, to free ourselves. Wherever we are in the world, we have to move as free people, and of course without molestation. We have a fundamental human right, and of course that is what you see us coming up and pursuing until we are free. We are not better than the lower animal. Yes, but we are talking about the evil system, because we know that the Nigerian problem is not just individuals. Yes, individuals have contributed greatly. Those who were colonized and amalgamated, there have been a lot of fights. The stage was set, and of course scripts are being written. But we know the foundation. It is a system that was created by the British government, by Lord Lugard, and of course Flora Shaw. So they created it and called it Nigeria. We know there's no need for overflogging the foundation again, but we are talking about this devil's alternative. You know, when you look at the two, you think that yes, people we are talking Atiku and people we are talking about Buhari. Yes, we talk about Jubri Buhari. You know, we must understand what we are talking about here. So, and the APC government and the APDP, we have seen the two devils. Because we know that APC is evil, PDP is also evil. We knew that before 2014, there have been a lot of corruption. And we talk about constitution because you talk about constitution. The constitution is not, there's never a thing like constitution because it is not the will of the people that is there. It is not the law of the people. It was a constitution that was given by the military. 1999 constitution was given by Abu Salam Abubakar, and of course you have a military junta producing some constitutions. And of course for democracy, and normally that's not how it's supposed to be. Constitution was supposed to constitute the laws of the land from all the areas, those that we are, of course, if we were supposed to be a federation, yes, as they were amalgamated, they were supposed to have their laws from all the nations that constitute the evil thing called Nigeria. That would have formed a good constitution if there was, and of course that was a replica of something that used to be in 1963. But today that is not what it is. So we have confronted with two devils, because there are several political parties. Of course, some of them we don't even know, but we know about two. We know about today. You talk about the ruling party APC, of course controlled by the cabals. Then we know about PDP, also controlled by former politicians, those who have also been part of the system, and of course most of them are also members of the cabal. So when we are talking about the evil here, we should know that it is still the same people. And of course the problem is that there is a systematic error. There's a systematic problem. There is a systematic issue that it's not just the constitution, it's not just the people, but Nigeria itself is a problem. And of course it is not just one kind of problem, it's a complex problem, because everything about Nigeria is wrong, is negative, it's against the people, it's against democracy, it's against human rights. And it is in Nigeria that that you see that there's a law that doesn't tells you that that they don't support human rights, they don't support self-determination, that yes you can, whereas there are places like the person contesting for presidency under we will say the man that won, that was never allowed to take office, that is not been allowed to take office, is from Adamawa. And of course that part of Adamawa used to be in Cameroon. It was a referendum that brought him in and made him a Nigerian. Without a referendum he will not be here. But today they are telling you that see, there is no provision for it in their constitution, because you are dealing with a military junta that produced something that looks like a constitution. And of course even that document they talk about and call constitution is not working. They don't respect it. The ruling government don't respect it. So you are talking about a situation that have gone complex. Since 2014 we knew that APC became a terrorist party. PDP were in power between 1999 and 2014, and we knew that to a large extent, well, they respected that military constitution, and of course you could go to court, and of course so many issues could be redressed in court. We knew that PDP was corrupt. We knew that there was a systematic problem. But we're talking about a more complex issue today, where you're talking about a terrorist government that came to take power, a jihadist government that came to take power in 2014. And of course they came under the platform of Boko Haram. They came under the platform of threatening, like Buhari before he died said yes, if he doesn't he was not given room to come into power, that he will make the country ungovernable. He made these statements, and of course Jonathan cried out that see, Boko Haram have become members of the Senate. They are everywhere in government. Boko Haram were part of the government. And when you're talking about Boko Haram, it's not just those boys in the bush, it's not just those of them in the military. You're talking about Boko Haram in the government house, because those of them politicians from there were members of Boko Haram. So Goodluck Jonathan understood, because before that period Boko Haram was underestimated, but he took time to understand what Boko Haram actually was doing. He understood that Boko Haram was part of the government. So you now see that you have PDP who was actually fighting to defeat Boko Haram. who was understudying to defeat Boko Haram. But you now have the APC who came and of course began to sponsor terrorism. So you are now looking at two devils. We were dealing with a lesser devil, of course, corruption and of course cases of human rights abuse and all that. They were obviously, but we are now talking about a full-blown terrorist party that came to power. So we have seen terror, we have seen horrible killings, we have seen everything, and today we are still dealing with the same issue. Of course, we saw what happened on election day. Was it not on election day that opened the military men right up? And of course, and killed innocent Biafrans. They were shooting. It was a war front so that you were disenfranchised in Biafra, and that is what it is. And to worsen it, you now see that when we are talking about these two devils, and of course you're looking at the greater evil and the lesser evil, and of course both of them are evil, and of course evil is evil because you know, no matter how you look at it, if you still turn around it and look at Atiku, there may not be much different. The only difference could be that Atiku may not have enough heart, and of course a bit educated to a large extent may drive economic policies, maybe try to work on the constitution, maybe. But the truth about it is that he is from the same family. They are the best of a feather, and of course he will always swear allegiance to Sokoto. He will always swear allegiance to the Islamic government that is already in power. So we need to understand those evils. So but we are talking about a system where democracy has been truncated, where everything about human rights have been pushed to the dustbin. But you still have the international community, because when we talk about this, we talk about the role being played by the owners of Nigeria. What did Britain say after the election? That they saw killings in broad daylight. They saw the evil in broad daylight. What did they have they not gone ahead?
Yeah, we are coming towards that, you know, because there is a statement that was made by the American government condemning in totality the British government, but we are going to come to that. Just go ahead and
so we are looking at two evils, and of course we are the indigenous people of Biafra. We have gone suffered everything. Each time we talk about these governments coming to play, the only thing once they come to power, the only people they concentrate is Biafra, because that is how Nigeria has been constituted. They constitute every thing they are doing is to commit genocide, because that is the foundation that was laid. 1804 jihad was about making sure that they turn all the areas to Islamic nation. And of course, you become slaves to Islam forever. They swore that they must soak their Quran into the Atlantic, and that is the only thing that will make them their vision be accomplished. And 1804 jihad was there before the British government looked at what was happening, and of course hijacked the system, and of course colonized. When they colonized, they still retained power in the north. The same group that was in the British system only helped them to secure the area, help them to find the footprint, so that their job become easy. And that is when you talk about the amalgamation, because before now we knew that they pressed and they couldn't cross the middle belt. They were stopped. Biafra has never been conquered. That nobody conquers Biafra. And of course, when the British came was they came with a kind of deception, creating the evil thing called Nigeria. They just deceive themselves, and of course coming in the name of business, because our people are business people. You know that we did business, our ancestors did business with Europeans at the Bight of Biafra before the British government came, and of course with their deceit, and of course began to form the Royal Niger Company, and they came here in the name of business transaction. They deceived themselves, and of course established a business and amalgamated. It was simply a business. They came to transact, and of course they were, before you know what's happening, they started treating it as a country. Before you know what's happening, they started appointing their men. Before you know what was happening, they created. So that was what deception, pure deception. British government came with pure deception. The Nigeria you have today is a fraud. There is no country called Nigeria. What you have is British Business Center. They just changed the license and call it Nigeria. They just changed the name and call it Nigeria. And of course, from there they began to run at the administration. And of course, they began to create government upon government. And from Lugard and all that, before you talk about what looks like independence, that is never an independent, because our people have never been independent since what they call independent. So The truth about it is that there is everything anti-democracy with what they call democracy in Nigeria, and you have two devils today, from the same area, and of course contesting, and of course trying to be used to deceive us. Yes, they are creating the same because they have seen what the indigenous people of Biafra are doing. They know that Biafra is the only solution to the black man world. Biafra is the only solution to every evil going on here, because we are living in our land. We are the indigenous people. It takes only the indigenous people to stand up and defend themselves, to stand up and of course reclaim their dignity, because freedom is never given by the oppressor, it is taken. So they know what we are doing. That is why you see them creating these two evils, because whether you like it or not, these two evils, the same people that created Nigeria created these two devils. Now you have the APC, you have the PDP, and of course they want to keep us just very busy pursuing shadows, because when you think you're chasing APC, you want to be part of the leading party, you are chasing shadows because you can never be defended in APC. When you think you're part of PDP because you want to take power back, you want to stop the killing, now of course you are still chasing shadow, because PDP is not the solution. PDP is never the ultimate solution. It's you see the same problem. All you simply do is get back to it. You're not even getting back to 2014, because you're no longer in 2014. You now have a Sharia law, almost a Sharia law running in the north, and so there's already a complex problem. Even if PDP takes power, they still have a lot of complex problems to solve. So you are not dealing with a system that is ready to protect you. You are dealing with a system that has already been consumed. It is a shithole. It is center of heart of darkness. So the only solution is to get yourself emancipated. The people, there's only a solution that the people need to stand up. The indigenous people that form these areas need to stand up and sit up and stop this nonsense. It only takes the indigenous people to stand up and stop the nonsense.
All right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi Bright Oriako, for that wonderful submission. All right, all of us of freedom, friends and well-wishers, and all of us of Biafra. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyedo, and I have Mazi Bright Oriako with me in the studio. And we are just looking at the devil's alternative, which we started talking about yesterday. Please, if you have not shared the program, please go to all our social media spaces and share the program. Share it far and wide so that others can get to see and hear the gospel of truth that is coming out from here. And make sure you also, work your friends and well-wishers, your neighbors, and those who couldn't have access to get connected with us, to come close to you and listen to the gospel of truth as it is unfolding. And also, in some couple of minutes, we are going to get hooked up with our brother Mazi Elvis on the way to also get his own analysis from his own end. And after that, we are going to go on a short break. When we come back from the break, we are going to open the phone lines for you to call, to make your contribution, and to ask your question. Once again, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyedo, and I have Mazi Bright Oriako with me. All right, Mazi Bright Oriako, you've been doing a good work, and in order to, to educate our people. Also, when you mention about the foreign, the government of the world, the role they played during this election. We got another report that has it that the American government is condemning the British government for congratulating Buhari over a sham called an election, capitalized by massive rigging. And from all indication, this election is not to be recognized by any major democracy. So at this point, does it mean that the British government could have any hands in this very rigged election that I've just taken?
Yes, you see, I said it earlier. There's a background, there's a script, there's a problem in the evil contraction called Nigeria. The problem was created by Britain. There is no, we cannot overflog it. Britain can never hide from the sin. We know the real creators of the problem, because it is clear that if the British government want to solve the problem today, they would solve it. But they hide under the sovereignty that Nigeria is a sovereign nation, but we know that in as much as they say Nigeria is a sovereign nation, Nigeria is never free from Britain. We know that the British government are the colonial masters, and of course after colonization, in what they looks like independence, they threw away something, and of course went underground. All they simply did was to go underground. You're not talking about post-colonial era, and that is what has been the problem. They now established a government where they run, and of course they are underground performing the duties for the every international policy about Nigeria is written in Britain. Every organization you see, anybody who must be president in Nigeria must be appointed from Britain, and that is the evil. So when you think you're going out to read, why is it that elections have always been rigged? That is the question that we must answer. Why is it that after the rigging of the election, their choice candidate is always the one in power? So those are the things. Now you need to understand that this rigging didn't start today. It started with its first census. That the British themselves, we saw how the first census was
fight.
Yes, so that was where the problem started, because you see that the figures you are dealing with today is not the real figures. Because if you are looking at population, who are the most populated people you have in the evil contraction called Nigeria, you are thinking it's not. You see, the Biafrans are more populated than the North. That is the truth. Even before, during the days of colonization, Biafrans were everywhere. They were everywhere in the evil contraction called Nigeria. And of course, we check our presence in the world today. Look at the population of Biafrans all over the world. Look at the movements of wherever we are found. Look at how we dominate those areas. You now discover that you can never equate our population with the North. But because of that falsification of the census, the first census that was conducted, they gave the larger number to the North, and they maintained it up until now. And that is why even in the political structure, Nigeria was structured to the point that the North are always the majority. The North are always the majority, and when they are looking for people, that is why I keep asking for, I keep talking about the difference between the people, because you talk about the geographical area that have been mapped out, and of course you now ask yourself, the people that are called Nigeria, because when it comes about the people, you now see that they mobilize people from all over West Africa to form Nigeria. As it stands, you look at what happened during this rigged election. Was it not people from Niger, Chad, and neighboring countries, Sudan, that formed what you saw, the rigging? All of them helped to rig the election. So that, even including children. So when you are looking at it, you now ask yourself, now the people that have been colonized in the area called Nigeria, the indigenous people are no longer recognized as even the owners of the land. They are looking for a means of totally annihilating the owners of the land, either through wars, either through hardship, or through genocide. That is exactly what you see them doing, and that is the same Islamization agenda. And you saw it when Nigeria was created. After the creation of Nigeria, there have been great problems, great challenges that have emerged. The position of British government is always, it must be one Nigeria. It must be one Nigeria. Even when there is nothing one in Nigeria, Lugard himself knew that these people, they are like oil and water that can never mix together. But he insisted it must be one Nigeria. The British government knew that Nigeria is unworkable, but they insist in one Nigeria. And when it comes to one Nigeria, it is just about land grab. They are interested in the land, they are not interested in the people. So that is why they can bring any black man to occupy the space, and of course call Nigeria, because it is a company. That is why when we are looking at the background as the British company, we must know that Nigeria is the British business center. Anybody can become a Nigerian. What they are interested in is in the geographical area, and that is why the indigenous people must stand up to reclaim their land. That is the only solution, because we look at it, you know that when you look at the role being played by the British government, you see the reason now they would all run to congratulate this man in Asorok that have succeeded in rigging, and of course to maintain their business. So they are looking for their interest, they are not interested. And you see the perfect lie. You see how they lie on BBC and CNN. You see how they lie, and of course when they lie, professionally, they will tell you that election was the best. Do you know that they are regarding this election that is glaring, that is the worst in history of democracy, as the British are looking at it as the best, because it serves their interest best. Not that it is the best for the people, not that it is the best at the interest of democracy or human rights, no, because it serves their interest best. Today you have a world where you can tell you that the British government is the greatest supporter of evil. If they created Nigeria and insisted in one Nigeria, in spite of the killings, horrible killings going on here, and of course, like oil and water that can never mix together, they are not interested in it. Their damn interest is the resources in Biafra land. And of course, it's not that we are not saying you can get this thing from the indigenous people. When Biafra is restored, we will do business. Of course, everything you want, you can get it. But they actually like Nigeria. Why? Because they know that they steal most of these things. It's not, they don't want to get it by just means. That is what, you see, when you talk about colonization, before colonization, there was slave trade. Remember that slave trade, the British government, people saw them fighting at the forefront of fighting to stop slave trade. People didn't know they have found an alternative. The alternative was voluntary slavery. And that is what you see that is playing now, colonization. And of course, when they colonize your mind, you become a voluntary slave. And that is why you see them creating Nigeria. And of course, they have seen something to replace what they did. And today, people will voluntarily serve the British government, serve their interests. You will see them hiring your own brother to shoot in your land. Is it not what is happening? So most of these men you see running the government are mercenaries. That is why even a man from Sudan is in charge of the country. So the British government is even doing a worse evil that is worse than the slave trade. What is going on today, what is playing today, is worse than what took place during slave trade. They were at the forefront, and of course, when they meant to stop slave trade, it stopped. But today, something worse than slave trade is happening. Because those days you knew that our people were taken through over the Atlantic Ocean in chains. But today they are not taken in chains. They go by themselves and they die at the Atlantic Ocean. And of course you see that the evil has become worse, because those days you'll be taking them and they will make effort to escape. They will make effort to free themselves. But today they have been so colonized to the point that you are the one going by yourself. And they are telling you to go back and die here because they have created this place to be the hell. People are looking for hell. The location of hell, people don't know. Because I ask people all the time, when you talk about hell, is hell a spiritual location or a physical location? Because I know that spirits, of course, you can torture a spirit, but fire, they don't feel pain going through fire. So when you're talking about hellfire, the geographical location of hellfire is Nigeria. Because it is the center of heart of darkness, and the devil himself is tired of Nigeria. And of course, you know that the British government actually created this hell, and when you are running away, you are being forced back to hell, because you know that in hell there's no way of escape. Is there not what is going on here now? You are trying to escape and you are being pushed back because there's no way of escape. You go through the Mediterranean Sea. Apart from that, they are dying. They are pushing you back from there because they have closed all their borders. They don't want you to come over. They want you to remain here and die here, so that your real land will be totally taken over. So they are hiring mercenaries from everywhere. Today they are hiring from Sudan, and they are using Sudan this man to run this evil thing called Nigeria. Tomorrow, who knows where they are going to hire the next man. So that is the evil we are confronted with. So when you're talking about the greater evil and the lesser evil, well, the lesser evil is like they are still using to purchase, to pay the people, you know, to make the people fight for the same problem. Because when you're fighting to stop PDP, and of course you have missed your priority. PDP and APC is not our problem. Our problem is that our mandate have been stolen, and we know those who stole it. We know how the creation, everything called Nigeria was created. So it's not a problem of fighting for PDP or fighting for APC. You should fight and restore your human dignity. That is it. So until you fight to restore your human dignity, you're wasting your time. So fighting for APC, fighting for PDP is the same problem. And they created it so that they keep you busy. They keep you chasing shadow. And that is why I told them that I think he's only coming to preach. And he will continue to preach. That is his role. And of course, you will always see him coming out to make statements. You will see a lot of fight going on politically. It is a deception. They are doing it to keep your mind busy. The gullible ones will think that somebody is fighting for them, that Atiku is fighting for them, that the other governor is fighting for them. I'm telling you, nobody is fighting for you. And in the process, AK-47 will be rolled out and they'll be shooting. And who are those that will shoot? They will shoot the ordinary one, because that's actually what the British government want. They create conflict. They want the conflict to escalate. They want everybody to die. They don't want to step in and solve a problem. They know there's a problem created by them. If the British government says Biafra will be restored today, it will be restored. But because of their selfish, devilish interest, they will not do that. So we, the indigenous people of Biafra, we know that freedom is not given by the oppressor, it is taken. So that is why we need to stand up as human beings and behave like human beings. Let the world understand that so many people underestimated our problem. Our problem is far greater than it. It is not just this Asorok. It's not just this cabal. It's not only the Islamization agenda. There are powers, world powers that are helping them. They helped to kill us during the genocide, 1967, 1970 genocide. They mobilized world powers to commit genocide against Biafra, and they are still there doing the same duty. So we must understand where our problems are, and we shouldn't underestimate them.
All right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi Bright Oriako, for that wonderful submission. Of course, all lovers of freedom and Biafrans watching and listening to us all over the world. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onido, and I have Mazi Bright Oriako with me. And we are looking at the devil's alternative. Of course, you can do good to share our program in all your social media spaces. You can also get connected with us in all those social media spaces like Periscope, Skype, YouTube, even Facebook and Twitter. Also, you can get us on WhatsApp. Also, we are transmitting concurrently on Radio Biafra London. So you can do good to go to any of all those channels to also get hooked up with us. Also, you can log on to our website, which is www.btv.co. Also get connected with us and listen. Also invite your friends, your well-wishers, even the enemies of Biafrans. Bring them closer so that they can hear the gospel of truth and also, you know, have a change of mind. All right, we're also going to get hooked up with our brother Mazi Elvis on the way in some couple of minutes, and when we come back after that, we'll open the phone lines for you to make your phone calls and also to ask your questions if you have any that you are not yet clarified about. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. All right, Mazi Bright Oriako, I come to you again. You know, there is a press release that was credited to El-Rufai. You understand? I want to read it out so that you can also analyze from there. All right, El-Rufai said, "My joy is that this election has exposed southern Nigeria and politicians from the south in APC as irrelevant, mouthy, and worthless. They have been busted as a bunch of people who came to Asorok to make claims and promises that they cannot fulfill. They will henceforth be seen as men with no political values, full of noise and nothing more. How will Osibanjo, who expects Buhari to hand over power to him in 2023, explain to the North why he lost his polling unit, ward and local government area in Lagos? How will Fashola escape the query why he lost Surulere, his local government, to PDP? How can Akpabio ever have the courage to look Buhari in the face again after his crash in Akwa Ibom? Can Oshomole still dance about after his flop in Edo? What will Abiola Ajimobi tell the cabals and Buhari now? All the serving ministers from the southeast lost their polling units. Where don't go them go get mouth now? Amechi failed to deliver in River State. How will he be regarded going forward now? Tinubu promised to deliver Southwest votes in block to Buhari, and the North believed him. Is it not a thing of shame that he failed and almost lost Lagos, if not for some doctoring and cancellation here and there? Tinubu will never be the same again. The Minister of Foreign Affairs could only muster 7 votes for Buhari in his polling unit in Enugu. That the governor of Imo State had to detain a returning officer and force him to declare that he is the winner of a mere senatorial election speaks volume of itself. What a disgrace. all the noise by the southern politicians in APC to use federal might has eventually turned out to be mere sound and fury, signifying nothing. The North will hold on to power for the next 12 years, in my view. So, this is a statement credited to the governor of Kaduna State, El Rufai. So, what would you make of it?
You know, sometimes when you hear these things, sometimes people think it's just mere rumor. And people are thinking that when you say these things, that they are just simple words. They say their agenda and they read them openly. Last year, when the Mieti Allah set the agenda, they made it clear. And people were saying it's rumor, is this. And it was, we saw it play out. This is come in form of rumor. And people threw them to the recycle bin. And just like we know that this place is hell, it doesn't matter when you see somebody falling and dying before you, and of course they will move on as if nothing happened. So when things like this happen, when you hear threats like this, you hear them setting agenda, people will still recycle it and move on as if nothing happened. But the truth about it is that we see these things play out before our very eyes. We see all these evils. They keep. You see, one thing we must understand is that these jihadists we are talking about trace their footsteps. Whenever they take power, they take it democratically, and of course they come under the platform of democracy, and of course they will take power and they will never allow the power to leave their hands. Do you know that even 1999 is because of Obasanjo's loyalty to them? Of course they knew what happened in 1979. That was why they say, okay, this man is loyal. Because Obasanjo, remember I did made it clear that Obasanjo voted against his own brother, against Awolowo. That they knew that Obasanjo belonged to that cabal. So for that reason, they will allow him. And of course, before they would give you power, they must test your level of loyalty. Yet they don't trust you. So we knew that while you saw them Obasanjo coming in 1999, one, they wanted to compensate the West for the death of Abiola, and of course the scriptwriters actually knew that there's tension, and of course they wanted to win the mood of the nation, and they wanted to check the mood of the masses. So they felt okay, the North should at least hold on, like begging them. Because they tell them that we are born to rule. Nigeria belongs to them. They are the owners. And of course, the Islamization agenda. So it was like they're doing something very special for you. And that was why you saw Obasanjo. Because of even the level of his loyalty. We knew the case of Jonathan. They wouldn't have allowed Jonathan if not for death. If not for that Biafran fought for him, because even when Yadua died, they concealed and of course it would Jonathan wouldn't have been in power if not because a sister fought and of course made it clear, and they were helpless. That was why I saw Jonathan. And of course, how did they? What happened when they saw that Jonathan was actually working hard to free the people? What happened? There was an uprising. Who sponsored that uprising against Jonathan? Because you saw that a lot of noise. They say corruption here and there, and of course they say Jonathan's regime was corrupt, and that was the best regime that you have ever had since the creation of the evil thing called Nigeria. That was the only time when you talk about democracy coming to play, to at least to a large extent. We know there was corruption because the system is corrupt. Yes, the democratic system is corrupt, but that was the only time that the fundamental issue about the constitution, about the governance was addressed. You talk about 2014 confab. That was the fundamental reason why Jonathan's regime was, those who own Nigeria sponsored it, that there was an uprising against Jonathan. And of course, when you saw Boko Haram, when you saw those terrorist movements, somebody was somewhere engineering it. So when you see that evil thing is happening in Nigeria, there is a serious person, there is a serious force standing behind them that give them the courage to go ahead. And it looks as if Boko Haram can never be defeated. Boko Haram is not just a terrorist group, it is the Islamic army. It is fight, and of course, remember that during the Chibok saga, when they were doing their scam, using it to get a lot of money from the international community, When they came to return those girls, and of course we found out that one of the girls was a boy truly in the Chibok, not Chibok, the second kidnap they did. I've forgotten the name of this village in the north. So we knew that yes, the Dapchi girls issue. Yeah. So we knew that these men, when they were coming, they were being shaped in the street, and they are called soldiers of Allah, because there we are fighting it. We talk about the Islamization agenda, you talk about the Northern agenda. It is the same thing, it is the same people working for the same thing, and that was the reason why you see that the uprising against Jonathan was from a source. The owners of Nigeria, we knew that Obama's hand was in it. We knew that the former Prime Minister of Britain was strongly behind it. So there was a lot of uprising. So we knew all those evils. We knew where our problems are coming from. We knew those. And of course, that is why when we still look at the outcome of the 2019 election, you also see that the same people are still doing the same duty. Because if you tell me there's going to be change, if you tell me they're going to have the people that created this problem change their minds, the people that created the problem have not changed their minds. The evil have continued. They continue to re-strategize, coming under the same different uniforms. See, what they are simply doing today is to create that conflict, so that you see APC and PDP will be fighting. You now come and you say, okay, PDP is better, let me support PDP, and you see that you are just fighting yourselves. You are fighting yourselves, and in the process of this fighting, young people will die, and at the end of the day, chasing shadow. It is not self-determination. You are not doing anything. You are not going to gain anything. You are only going to, at the end of the day, gain something for the owners of for the owners of Nigeria, for the owners of the British company. So we must understand what is playing out here. So the evil thing called Nigeria, the only solution is Biafra. The only solution is IPOB. And of course, IPOB is the savior. Without IPOB, I'm telling you, there's no solution, there's no progress. You can only get your freedom through joining IPOB. And that is why we say, join the nearest IPOB family close to you.
All right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi Bright Oriako, for that wonderful submission. Of course, the only visible solution is to join IPOB family that is very closer to you. All right, all of us of freedom and friends and well-wishers that is listening and watching us all over the world. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyido, and I have Mazi Bright Oriako with me, and also our brother Mazi Elvis on the way is also standing by to, get connected with us. But before we bring him in, we are going on a very short break, and when we come back from the break, we'll bring him in to come and give his own analysis. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back, all friends and lovers of freedom. I welcome you once again. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyedo, and I have Mazi Bright Oriako with me in the studio. And we are bringing in our brother Mazi Elvis Onwudiwe to come and give his own side of the analysis. Mazi Elvis Onwudiwe, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, my comrade Victor Onyedo and Mazi Oriako. I'm saying good morning to Biafran and all listeners this morning.
Good. How are you doing?
As you can see, we are doing great by the powers of Chukwuka.
All right, I can see that written all over your face. Can you hear me very well?
Yes, please, but you can augment your volume, just augment your voice.
Okay. All right, can you hear me now?
Very good.
Okay, all right, I welcome you to Sunrise Daily News Analysis this very morning.
Thank you.
All right, Mazi Elvis Onwudiwe, you know the topic we are talking about is the devil's alternative, and of course you are the one that brought that topic, and people picked very, very keen interest in it, urging us to elaborate and educate them on it. So I would like you to start by educating us more on what you understand by the devil's alternative, then before we talk about other things that are surrounding it.
Okay, my brother. Devil's alternative is an indication of me standing on a that is on a section or on a plank or on a bridge of no going back, or that is on a place of no return. If you move front, you got to be wounded. When you move backward, you got to be wounded. So the next thing for you to do is to push ahead. Either you survive, or both of the situations goes down the drain, or dropped by the sea, because you don't have to give up. This time around, we need to match it head on, because as you can see right now, the things that is happening is either you continue to pressurize or you stop and be killed. So as it is now, there is no going back. Even those of them that said that they are not IPOB, that they are not joining the Biafran, the wind of this very wickedness is reflecting on them, and it's going to affect them the most, because they will lack the information from the crew of the IPOB information rooms. Why? Because they are not part of us. They won't be alerted when it starts. So it is dangerous for them to be outside, because everybody is involved right now. Everybody, that is, it is an altercation of devilish kind of moment when you say you are not involved, but you are part of it. House of Olivia, they don't even know the IPOB, they don't even know the Aquarius or Riverine or Biafran or whatever. So the best thing for everybody to do right now, because it is a devilish alternative, for us to join together. Even if you don't join, you are going to be affected, even massively. Why? Because you will lack information. But if you are involved, if you are within the IPOB, the information will get to you, you will get set, and you prepare yourself not to be what? Not to be just to speak. You need to have your jacket. You need to have everything it takes for you to gamble into the ocean, so that you may not get you may not be drowned. But if you don't have such a thing, you are not equipped. Jump into the sea, get drowned. So that is it right now. That is what we are saying right now. That we want everybody to either you by mission or commission or by omission. You must have said it, that this very dispensation is going to be tough. It's going to be tough to who? So you have to use your faith, your feet to count your tongue. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi Elvis Onwudiwe, for that wonderful submission. And of course, if you can look holistically from the things that is happening around us, it appears that we are already on that very devil's alternative this time around, because everything that is just coming up is still pointing toward that direction, because all the options are available is still not very good for the people. Everything seems to be coming in that is on the hard side of it. Also, I have one information that is just coming in right now from an insider that has it that the Catholic Church in Aba Diocese had an indoor secret meeting which they will pass to their members soon before the governorship election. They want to put an order to all their members that anyone found as an IPOB member will be sent out from the church. Secondly, if you die or any of your household dies as a member of IPOB, maybe you have a program that needs the presence of the church will not attend it. You will be counted out as not being a member simply because you are an IPOB member. What would you make of that? It's still part of the devil's alternative we are talking about, and this time around within the church premises. What would you make of it, Mazi?
Yes, my comrade. Yes, my comrade, the time has come right now. Let me just tell you, you don't have to be moved, or you don't have to be panicked or afraid of what the churches are saying. Those churches are the people that owns people when they died. That is when you know that these people care for you. But when you are sick, when you are in need, when you are in a very big, kind of great size corner, they won't come for your aid. But when you die, you watch them, they'll go their registrar. They will check your attendance. They will begin to mount some pressures and collect some money and the kind of things from you, and say that if you don't pay it, that this debt is not going to be buried. But at the end of it all, everyone is going to be buried. So let me just tell you, they are going to lose right now, because the game they are inculcating right now is going to bounce on them. When they place this kind of law or this kind of assessment or whatever they have been trying to implement, it will affect them right now, because IPOB is the most popular member they have in every church, which means they are planning to boycott people from attending church services. That is the only thing they are saying, and it's going to affect them heavily. Why? Money will not come in, money will not be coming in. They will be going on the street begging people to come, and it will not work as usual again. But what am I trying to say right now? These people that are making this kind of utterances, they are not God. They are talking like human beings, and they are trying to hypnotize you because you are being sanitized, and this they are being sanitized from their inhumanity and enslavement. You have now realized that these people are not telling you the truth. Now they are doing everything possible to kind of keep subjugating you, but because of the fact that you have been listening to radio or televisions of Biafran and your brain has been open, you now start to reason like a human being. They've seen that they have failed, so they are trying to find every other to keep you subjugated. But because of the fact that you have realized that this enslavement is enough, now they come up with this all manner of law. Let me just tell you, they are playing a game that will affect them the most. Why did I say this? They're playing this game that will affect them the most. When they come up with this very issue, let me just tell you, how many of churches have helped anyone? Who did they help? Who did church help? Rather, the IPOB are the one helping the churches. We help them pay their salaries. We help them build their houses. We help them eat in their homes. We help do every other down things. So when they come up with these very issues, we know how to play the game, and it's going to affect them seriously. So that is what I'm saying. And if they don't even realize or return or repent from what they are doing, let me just tell you, from now to the next month or maybe in the next 3 months, you will start to count a church that I think having more than 1,000 or 2,000 members. That you will start to count them maybe 300, 100. Because people are tired right now. People have been praying. People have been doing all kind of things for years. You want prayer point and yet nothing happens. Yet they obey you and they want to impose your personal law upon them. They are tired. People are tired. That is why I said it is devil's alternative. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi LV Sawudiye, for that wonderful submission. Of course, we are still talking about that devil's alternative. Also, we get an information that the Rivers State Governor Yesomu hands Atiku's portrait in his office instead of that of President Muhammadu Buhari. And other loyal PDP governors too have resolved to do so as soon as possible. And we are still talking about the devil's alternative. As in, is this still playing out? From your own perspective, what would you make of it, Mazi?
Well, my brother, as you can see, that is their own personal business. You know, whatever thing they're doing or whatever thing that happens in their offices, it is their own personal business. They are politicians. They are playing their own role. They're trying to kind of outshine or kind of shine their businesses and trying to be recognized or noticed more. So what we are saying is, concerning the issue concerning Biafra, and that is the only way out of this very issue. These people, whatever they are doing, is to help them to kind of grow their own business, to grow their farm poultry and their all manner of devilish businesses. Even if we remove the pictures and pick their own pictures there, we don't care. In our own office, even in our studio right now, we have nothing that they cannot picture. We have which of the pictures, and that is what we believe. So even if they remove all the pictures, it's none of our business. So they are trying to use it to make news or kind of make it to kind of be recognized. I'm not interested. That is not the major issue. The major issue right now is to face what Buhari Jibril has said. He said that this very legislation is going to be tough. It's not all about pictures. It's all about action. It's all about IPOB. It's all about restoring the Biafra. That is the game we are in right now. So if you are not feeling the heat now, I'm telling you in a serious time, that is in time to come, you are going to face it head on, and I think it cannot help you. So it's better you join right now. If not, my brother, is well. So
all right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi Elvis, on the way for that wonderful submission. Also, we are still on that very devil's alternative, and we are still coming back on the religious aspect of it. You know, since some couple of days after the election result was announced, that we have gotten so many reactions from some people, and this reaction is coming from Sheikh Gumi, a well-known Islamic cleric in the north, in the far north. He have come out openly to condemn in totality the victory of Buhari, which was characterized by acts of rigging. He also criticized those who worked hand in hand to aid his rigging, from ranging from all the military joint task force and other agencies, including the international observers. He condemned everything they did in totality, pointing out that it is un-Islamic. But when you come to the other hand again, Mbaka from his own end also condemned, he was condemning P2B for not coming to pledge allegiance to him before embarking on that election. But Mbaka has said that what happened to P2B, to Atiku and Obi is spiritual. He also said that this is the beginning of P2B's political downfall unless he comes to Adoration Ministry to apologize. He said that Adoration Ministry is too sacred and Holy Spirit apple of God's eyes, that nobody can dare it and go scot-free. So these two press statements are conflicting with one another. So he's still talking about the religious aspect, the role the religion is playing in helping the development of our people and human dignity. So are we still left with that devil's alternative, just like you have rightly asserted, from your own perspective, Mazi Elvis?
Yes, my courage. Before that, I will go back to the international observers you just mentioned right now. I want to ask you questions. Who are those international observers? Look at them. Look at those very people that call themselves international observers. They are hungry, wretched, British oil stealing demons in our land. Nobody invited them. They did not travel to anywhere. They are working hand in hand with the government of the zoo. These are the people they brought in by the houses and gave them apron. to war look like because of their color, you know, to confuse people. Go and check their background. Those of them, even that lady that comes and give a press release conference on the EU concerning the election, her name is nowhere to be found on the social media, even in Google and Wikipedia. Her name is not there. Go and check it right now. You find out that there is something like such name exists or have existed before. That is to tell you that these are the people machinery bought by Fulani, more especially the cabals, the El-Rufai, the Kaduna governor, and the Apakialis, and those of the men that have decided what is happening in the zoo. So if you are talking about observers, my brother, you are dancing to their tone. They are not observers. These people are criminals. These people are impostors. What I mean by impostors, they became an impersonate in the name of observer. Nobody sent them. They are right inside the zoo. Because if you watch the man that calls his name from Britain, to what his kind of his accent, he speaks straightly like a man that has stayed so long in Africa. That very in Nigeria, in the zoo for so many years, they refuse to go wide. They are sucking Nigeria dry. So when you call the observers, these people are the slaves that work hand in hand to make sure that Biafran will succeed. That is why they could not be able to give or ascertain exact thing that really happens or transpired, because they are working for their masters. You know, so now coming to Mbaka or whatever, let me just tell you that I don't want to speak, I don't want to talk about so-called people that call themselves man of God, or people that say that God called them, because I wasn't there when God called them. I am not the one that anointed them, and I am not the one that employed them. But let me just tell you one thing, right? God, you cannot have God, and you cannot use the name of God in vain. You cannot start prophesying and say God has said to you. These are the man that said that Timothy Penamana will die. So sometime ago, 2005, and that man is still living up to today. And the man that's brought about some certain way that they call prophecies and whatever, and none of them comes to pass. And here people are still believing what they call the jumbo mumbo. You know, these are jumbo mumbos and things that they use in order to make sure that their business is growing. And people are believing them. Let me just tell you, if people don't even know who they are, if that is what our leaders trying to teach us, if people know exactly who they are, you know that there is power in a spoken word. You know that there is power in the spoken word. That even Bible tells you that the power of life and death is in the heart of your tongue. So whatever thing you say with your mouth, you don't need any prophecy. You don't need any prophets. But our people are so confused. That is what the British has imposed on us. Using Christianity to impoverish us the more. Using Christianity to make us go down as a beggar, because that is the way they will tell you when they slap you, when the pastors take your money, when pastors take your life, when they collect your land. Don't speak, don't talk about the authorities. Who tell you that? This, even that same Bible tell you that every man that his brother still shall die. But they will come to tell you, don't fight, don't do anything, and they continue to lie, because people believe on them so much that believing in God, they see them as God instead of seeing God from them. You know, so if you back or whatever comes to say the word of God, don't believe in what he has been saying. What has been going on, conferences has been going on, a lot of revelations and prophecies unfulfilled has been going on. The Bible said that when I speak a word towards my servant, it will surely come to pass. Because why? I said it with signs and wonders. And if you have seen that sign, talk more of the wonders. You use your teeth to count your why. Those are not called by God. He's giving you the spirit of discernment. When they speak, you design. When they speak that this thing is going to happen, my brother, look very well and check the balance equation if these people are from God. So I don't want to go much far about them, you know. So they have dabbled into politics. That is to tell you that they are closing their shop very, very easily. Very soon, I'm telling you, before this year, my word, before this year runs out, people will start running away from church. Even if you call them to go to church, they will run away, because church is no longer helping anybody. Church is not bringing the authority. Church is not the solution. The only solution now that stands now, that trends, is Ipob, the mouthpiece that speaks the truth, that feels the pains of the least human being, but not even do that. They by the size of They walk by the side with the investments. They walk by the side and not by sight and not by the spirit. They walk by the things they see. But IPOB don't look at those things. They take everybody equal. That is why our leader is fighting for everybody. So my brother, I was talking. Ask me another question. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Elvis Audio, for that wonderful submission. And of course, I'm going to have to let you go, but we are still going to be looking deeply on this very devil's alternative some other time. But before I let you go, I would also like you to react based on the recent communique from American government, who condemned in totality the British government for congratulating President Muhammadu Buhari on his just announced victory. And also, if you look at it from the other angle, the election was also declared, there are some places where the INEC chairman declared inconclusive, and he's making plans to conduct a supplementary election after announcing victory already. So the whole two things are conflicting. So now American government is condemning the British government for congratulating President Muhammadu Buhari. So I don't know what your view on this. Is there any way or any possibility that the British government might likely have a hand in this rigging that has just taken place? Because for the fact that they did not come out to condemn it, rather they are congratulating President Muhammadu Buhari on an election that everybody considered a rigged election. And now the American government is condemning them. What will you make of it, sir?
Okay, my brother, your question is just like as if you can only kind of cheat a blind man by telling him that there is no oil in the soup, but you can cheat him by telling him that there is no salt in that very soup, because he has the test, he has to confirm himself. It is only a fool that will now stand to walk by what these criminals are doing. Do you know that Abu Salami Abubakar, Babangidas, and all these G4 of Kaduna Mafians have gathered together with Atiku? When all the meetings, they said that this meeting is to maintain peace and to make sure there is no war or a kind of hegemony or problem in the land. And if you watch what Atiku said in that very meeting, my brother, you will cry. All these people that are coming to make statements, telling you this and what of that, stuff like that. I don't believe in those very people. Why? Because they have gone inside the meetings and many of them nearly settled their handicap. Because if you see a man being compromised and expect every man to react, he won't react. Rather, he will be telling you, okay, now my brother, they said this very well. Let us watch and see. You continue dying. If not, why would Buhari come up after that same meeting and say that this very dispensation, these are going to be who? To the people of masses that will continue to after his election, went to the whole church in Kaduna and wiped out all the whole congregations in that place, and news of Nigeria did not carry that. And America's idea keep condemning. We don't need condemnation right now. We are condemned enough. That very condemn and the condemnations has taken so many lives. I remember when Trump assumed office, condemning and condemning, people are continuing dying. America has the power, has all it takes to almost over 8. They have all it takes to come in. They have, if you really believe in what they are saying, if really they want to help Africans, they want to help people, they want to help Biafrans to restore their nations. Let them step up to their patience. They won't watch it, what expected. Let them stop speaking and coming on air and step back. We are tired of those things. Like what I tell you the other day, I am tired of seeing calling international communities. I hate them. They are not doing anything. They are being helped. That is exactly what really transpired and what really happened. And when I said it before the election, you saw it as it happens in every way. You saw it as it happens in that very way, that the observers themselves combined and they conspired to rig the elections. And after rigging, they give the result. What stopped the observer from the original result, from their perspective angle, and balancing the equation that this is our own result from what we saw, that this thing is said is not right. Let us work together and find a way why this thing happens like this. How do we get this result? Wow. They kept quiet. And only are telling me that the America, Nigerians or whatever, my brother, I don't give a damn about this very bullshit. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi Elvis Awundiwe, for that wonderful submission. Now, of course, I'm going to have to let you go, but before I do that, I would like you to give your final words of advice to Biafrans and all of us of freedom that are watching you all over the world. Hello, Mazi Elvis, can you hear me?
My word of advice is, we are in a I can hear you. All
right, please go ahead.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. My own advice to everyone that comes from the Biafra land, call yourself you query. If you don't query in the morning, before this government of Buhari Jubril comes to the video, you must query in the afternoon. Don't query in the night. If you are a video, you don't view yourself from immunizations and believe to IPOB, your blood will continue to be used because this is devil's alternative. We are not, IPOB has come and we have come to stay. There is no way going forward. I mean, there is no way moving backward. We are moving the head on. Whether good or bad, we are getting there. So that is the advice. If you like, continue yapping. If you don't like, continue to speak one thing or the other. Your business has been born in the north. Your business has been born in the Yoruba land, and none of them owns a piece of land. None of them owns even a kiosk. None of them owns even one single sewing machine, and you are busy opening their land. Protecting yourself, you don't worry. We are in this work alternative. It will affect everybody. If you is working on, let us join hands together and work with Martin and the Kano and destroy the zoo. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, our brother Mazi Elvis Awundiwe, for that very wonderful submission. Of course, and we are hoping to you will join us by tomorrow as we also continue. Thank you very much and stay blessed wherever you are. All right, all of us of freedom and Biafrans watching and listening to us all over the world. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyido, and I have Mazi Bright Oriako with me in the studio. All right, Mazi Bright Oriako, you are welcome once again.
Thank you so much.
All right, you have heard the submission of our brother Mazi Elvis Awundiwe. Do you totally agree with everything he said?
Yes, Mazi Awundiwe, I agree with him. Of course, in the sense that we know that the conflict, we know the creators of the conflict, the British government, and of course they give the church. We know that today you talk about the church and politics, and of course religion and politics is playing a very strong role in the evil that is happening. And of course they said those machineries in the sense that you see he made mention of IBB, Abu Salami. Those are the machineries that they use to operate the evil thing called Nigeria, that when the people want to stand up and fight for their right, they tell them that we want peace, we don't want war. But they created a war. They created a conflict. All your own is to agree to be a slave. Just keep quiet. One Nigeria by force. You know when we talk about one Nigeria by AK-47, that is what it is. So one Nigeria by force, when they create a conflict, and of course use the government to execute it, rig the election, they now bring out those men from background and political church leaders, and that is why you see what the church is telling you that if a member of IPOB will no longer conduct burial for you, we no longer. What is the essence? You know, you look at this thing, that the background of the whole thing is that while they kill you, you just need to die silently. The British government, of course, is telling them, see, we don't want war. Go and rig the election. Go and do this. Do this. And of course, the conflict they created is simply they want you to remain perpetual slaves. So we know that this is the evil that is confronting us. So we must understand how serious what is confronting us is, because we have no option than to fight for our freedom.
All right, thank you very much, brother Mazi Bright Oriako, for that wonderful submission. Of course, all of us of freedom and Biafran that is listening and watching us all over the world, we are going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll open up the phone lines for you to call to bring your contributions and for you to make your suggestion. And in case you have any question that you would like us to address and clarify, please do feel free to do so whenever we open the phone lines to do justice to all your concerns. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onido. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back, all Biafrans and lovers of freedom. I welcome you once again to Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyido, and I have Mazi Bright Oriako with me. Alright, our lines are open for you to call. You can call us on Facebook at Sunrise BTV, and also you can hit us up on Skype at Sunrise BTV on Skype. Also, let me call out the WhatsApp number and also the phone line for you to call in to make your contributions. All right, our WhatsApp line is +234 090 566 08583, and the phone lines to call is +234 0702 035 3706. Please call us and make your contribution and ask your question if you have any. All right, Mazi Bright, you are saying something.
Yes, I was saying something because we must understand the whole issues. When we are angry, we must know why we are angry. And of course, if anybody is human and not angry with the situation, there's something wrong with that person. Of course, if you're not an imbecile, you'll be angry with what has just transpired, what is happening to us. Because we have seen horrible situations, we have seen killings, we have seen the blood flow in our land. Then we also see the horrible thing called democracy, how it has become so horrible. Everything about Nigeria is horror, is just smelling horror. So we have to understand why it is happening, because there's somebody somewhere where they said no matter how bad a situation is, somebody somewhere is enjoying it, because the British government is enjoying what is happening. That is why Nigeria has remained the way it is. That is why you think that you are fighting, you are fighting Fatiku, you are fighting for Buhari, you are wasting your time. The real people enjoying the evil is the British government, and that is why they do everything to support it, and that is why they were at the forefront to confront, to congratulate the evil thing they called Buhari in Asorok. So you must understand the situation here, that we are confronted with only one option to get ourselves free, because freedom is never given by the oppressed, it is always taken by the oppressed, and the time to take our freedom has come. And that is why Chukwu Kadema has given us Mazen Nandekano, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, who is there doing duty for Biafra. And of course, he has sworn to get Biafra restored, because without Biafra we are gone, we are doomed. He saw it a long period of time. What is playing out now, Mazen Nandekano saw it a long time, and he has he told us he has used every language known to man. And of course, to the point that he started hitting us so hard that so many of our people got so angry, they said they don't like the way he's talking. But he doesn't change anything. All that he has been saying has been the truth. And of course, we know that the truth has been what is scarce in the world. The truth is what has been missing, and that is why when you see our people trooping to the church, they are looking for the truth. But today we have seen the truth. Mazen Nandekano have told the truth. Biafra must be restored.
All right, we have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is.
Please make sure anytime you call us, you turn down the volume of your listening device, please, so that we can have effective communication. I've said it over and over again. Please turn down the volume of your listening device anytime we pick your call, so that there won't be a hold back. Okay, so that I can hear us and we can hear you as well, and we'll have effective communication. Please make sure you obey simple instruction. All right, Mazi Bright, you are saying something. All right, we'll have a call on the phone. Call on the phone. Good morning. Call on the phone. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Hello.
Please tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Hello, Marcy. How you doing? Oriako, are you with me?
We are with you, live and direct. Please go ahead.
Okay. Please, I just want to comment. I'm just coming on to the platform this morning. I wasn't with you at the beginning of the topic, but I just opened my radio now and I'm hearing what you people are talking about. First and foremost, my name is Mazi Gwedona. I am calling from Abakaliki, Izambo, precisely in Abakaliki province. Hello.
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello. Okay. So there is something that I want to ask. I want to ask you this question. Is Israel among the member of the United Nations?
Of course.
Okay,
they are member of the United Nations Security Council.
Okay, why I decided to ask this thing, what is happening now? You see, just like our brother who was speaking before you went on break and opened the light. America, as an eye of the world, has all it takes for us to step into what is happening in Nigeria. But I don't really know what game these people are playing. But if you look at it, now they say that they are sending a United Nations observers. And these dupers came here. In Nigeria. They went on and lodged in a hotel and collected their money and went back to tell their own government that what went on here is okay. Well, my brother, I have certainly seen it that unless we decided to take the bull by the horse, unless we decided to whatever means we can use in order to achieve this our nation. I believe now strongly that we cannot hope on Western world. They are not going to help us at all. Yes, at the simplest called Africa, a farmland. And something on its expansion has described Africa as a people. Another place, what stops United States of America? They have seen that this thing is not working. What stops them? This is their work. We don't step in and all the other nations to our problem and say this. We are black people and we know nothing, just as our leader has been saying. I have come to know really after this election, this is a sham election that took place now. I have come to understand that really, we are in mess. And how long will this thing continue? How long are we going to endure this? No, it's time. Everybody should rise up now. Let us take it by force. Anyhow that it is now. If we are going to perish all, where God is in heaven, He will know what to do about it. Because 1967, the war was fought. You just imagine the whole nation ganging up against the Biafran. Partly, not all the Biafran, partly. So this time around, the British are still on their not. Tell me a reason why a government of Theresa May, with all these scandals, killings everywhere. And these people went back to report that it was a free and fair election. Please, my brother, I don't have much to say, but I have just asked the question that I want to ask. This Israel is a member of the United Nations, because what I was having in mind is that we, as a Biafran, should we successfully get our nation? Is it right for us to belong to the United Nations? If a group of a nation in this world will gang up like this and this type of thing will happen and nobody is saying something about it, do we go to belong to such an organization? You see, that's what I just want to ask you this morning. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, our brother, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, we do welcome every opinion and we appreciate your concern. All right, Mazi Bright, you have one or two things to say?
Yes, we understand the situation here.
Okay, we have a caller on the phone. Caller on the phone, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mazi Victor and Mazi Bright.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. My name is Hugo. I'm calling from Enugu province this morning.
All right.
Good morning to their friends of their friends and the lovers of freedom. The blessing of Chukwu Kikajama will continue to guide and protect every one of us.
You see?
And made ourselves available for this divine race. Mazi, what I want to say, you see the high level of injustice that is found against Biafran, Chukwu Kikajama is seeing all things, he's watching. But one thing I want to tell anyone who is part of this man inhumanity to his fellow, reason why the Almighty God, for some of you know him as the Almighty God, bring justice to a particular nation or destruction is because of high level of intimidation, injustice against man against his fellow. All of you may think that you have power. So for you to continue to intimidate Biafra and kill Biafra and lie against Biafra is the right thing. I want to let you know that you can't go on in doing this forever. Our God, the Almighty God that created heaven and earth, doesn't love intimidation. He's not happy when he sees man intimidating his fellow man in all rounds. People cares for humankind. He created them. So for you as a man, if you made yourself available to intimidate a particular race, have it in mind that you are making yourself an enemy of the Almighty Creator. He owns your life. He is the one that gives you the life that you are living. If he decides to offer your life, then you will die instantly. So for those of you that is doing the work of evil, devil, rethink. Injustice remains the reason why the Almighty God brings destruction to a particular nation. As long as you made yourself a tool to kill your fellow human continuously without repenting, at a limited time, you will see his anger coming against you. What is happening to Biafrans all over the world? Man in humanity, when they see good, they will call it bad. When they see bad, they will say this is good. That is the reason why there is a man who say the evil and concussion and wicked violent election that just took place that claimed the lives of some people are very free and fair. Assuming that if they themselves are conducting this election in their country and some people were killed, they will be happy. You have to measure the thing that you want people to do to you, do to the people the same thing. The election, it is clear to the whole world that it is fraud. But some people claim to say, congratulations, free and fair. I wish your life will remain free and fair, such as that election that claimed the lives of some people. But one thing we are telling you people, as you gang up against Biafrans, in a limited time, you will all fade away. We are telling you that we want to be free. And freedom comes from the Almighty Ipob, the creator of this heaven and the earth. He laid the foundation of earth for me and you to live on top. And whatever he says must surely happen. That is the reason why at the end of everything, you will see that we will jubilate in our land because Biafran freedom must be here. Thank you very much. May the blessing of God continue to guide.
Thank you very much, our brother, for that wonderful contribution.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. Keep the calls coming in. We'll have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp. Good morning.
So that's it. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. We have a call on Sky. Call on Sky. Good morning.
Good morning, Mas Victor and Mas Zodiac.
Okay. Please, can you speak up a little bit? We are not getting you clearly.
Yes, my name is Rafik. By the grace of God, I came from Biafra land, Umuaka, in Olo province. But I served the Legion of People of Biafra here in Russia as the national coordinator. Since after the concluded league election, actually I have never been myself because this type of conspiracy in a high scale on international level, and that is since I was born, I never see such. But men and women, we are shot dead at the police station. At the day brought light, and the so-called international monitoring group, they were there, even conspire. There was a video that was they show a British man writing results and somebody confronted him. He later get up. So, and if you watch in the same video, it was the same man that came out and announced that the election was went very well and it was good and fair. So when I saw all these things, I'm really I can't understand what is really in that space of land that is called Nigeria. People that are living there, are they at all human beings? Because if this thing is really happen in a country that human beings are living, nobody will sit at home now talking peace. Everybody would have been on the streets. The revolution would have been on by now. But I'm surprised that people are we are just like people that are that is under coma. People have pushed to stupor that nobody can be able to speak. Even during the time of military dictator, this type of thing never happened. But to our own surprise, even people, our so-called evil elites, the politicians, the people that call themselves intellectual, now every person is feeling mood. None that is big in their heart, memory, feeling melon like market women. The time that men are supposed to be at war front to confront evil, men are there in their wife's kitchen, peeling melon. So the thing really baffled me. What is wrong with our people, especially our Igbo people? Yesterday there was a group that I left yesterday. This group they blocked me during the time of election because I was opposing them. I was telling them to support IPOB so that our people can be able to get our freedom. And in that group, all of them claim to be professors, intellectuals, doctors, men of high caliber. But if you see what the trash they are saying there, because of my I was condemning what they're saying there, they blocked me before the election. Immediately after the election, they unblocked me. So I'm start asking them, well, now, man, what is now? Have you people known seen that Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB we are rats? Instead of them not telling, they are still, of them are still accusing of Nnamdi Kanu. That Nnamdi Kanu is stubborn, he doesn't listen to them, they know him, he's a friend, but they can never go according to it. Okay, I told them, if Nnamdi Kanu is not doing well, why not you stand up and organize their own people and then move for them and show us the way, and then sort of with you. Why are you standing there doing nothing, condemning the person that is doing that has sacrificed your own life? At the long run, after the email, I later left that yesterday. So, and if you watch what is going on that group, that is the mindset of every Nigerians, especially our Igbo people that call themselves that learned. How can you call yourself a learned, but some people that illiterates are the people that are controlling your future with the help of British? We are talking about British. British is even those people to be blamed. We allow ourselves to be used. Because if you wake up to that and say no to people in Nigeria, no to fraudulent election, no to criminals that are stealing our election, that's British cannot. They don't have authority, but because we are in coma, then they can be able to manipulate. They can be able to do whatever they like, but they know that we can never react. So, my brother, I don't want to take much of our time, but I'm really angry. My dad is grief. I'm depressed. With what is happening on in that since after the election. But my comfort is that we have a living leader, that the man that saw tomorrow. He is the only person that saw what is happening. Anything that happened in Nigeria, they are ready for it. And yet, evil people, they will see argue, they will see refuse, they will see rather to die in the hand of Fulani than to listen to Nnamdi Kanu. But IPOB, we are global family. We shall never relent. We shall never surrender. That's our trend is a moving train. All the people that refuse to enter into that train, they shall die inside inside Nigeria. And IPOB, all the people that are locked inside that moving train, all of us will be saved by the grace of Spokabiam.
So, all right, thank you very much, Mazi. We so much appreciate your wonderful contribution and stay blessed wherever you are. We have a call on WhatsApp. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Please tell us where you are calling from.
My name is Chukwemeka. I'm calling from Germany.
All right, welcome.
I want to contribute one or two things about this previous election. British people, I keep saying it, British people are evil and they will never change until our people wake up to their responsibilities. Every Biafrans, especially those at home, call the ones abroad here to join Ipob family where they are. Let's see how we can liberate ourselves. Atiku is going for a meeting, a peace meeting or whatever they call it in the north. This Atiku failed to realize that that mandate is not his mandate. The people, Atiku is just like a driver. The people who believed in him and in the so-called BBC voted him in. It's like they bought a vehicle and asked Atiku to be the driver. And Theresa May and Buhari and Jubril stole it. Atiku is now going to negotiate peace with the other people that bought the car for him to drive for them. Atiku is just there to serve the people. So whatever thing he's negotiating there, he should first of all come and ask the people that voted him in. Everybody saw that the election was rigged. America condemned it, everybody saw it. I don't know why Britain is bent on sucking the blood of innocent Biafrans again. And this brought me to whatever our leader has said in this platform since I know him has been 101% correct. But there is only one thing that he said that baffles me. Maybe if you guys can give me clearance, I will be very happy. Our leader is too generous, and he shouldn't be extend that generosity to Britain. How can our leader say that England is the most civilized piece of territory on this planet Earth? The civilized people and Boko Haram, House of Fulani, to go and slit the stomach of a pregnant woman? Look at all this mayhem, killing. The church was completely wiped out in Kaduna. Civilized people don't do like that. Civilized people act like the way Donald Trump is acting now. And America. If Donald Trump wanted to be the richest man on this planet Earth, through Biafra he will be. By supporting what is going on in Biafran land. But he never did. That is the sense of civilization. If you want to take whatever belongs to Biafra by force, he can do it. But he's not doing it. That is civilization. But why must you claim to be the civilized territory on this earth and they go on pillaging and looting and murdering innocent men, women and children? And they use the BBC to tell lies and deceive the world. Is this the hallmark of civilization? If that is civilization, I rather remain a moron. I rather know nothing. In my opinion, I think Biafra land is the most civilized territory on this planet Earth. Because we believe in everybody who cooperate. These civilized animals don't believe like that. They believe in pillaging, killing, in looting. Calling England a civilized territory is like calling ISIS or Al-Qaeda civilized people, because there is no difference. What Britain is doing is even far more worse than what ISIS and Al-Qaeda have done. So if we should, our leader should not extend that hand of generosity. Our leader is so kind with his mind. That's why he is trying to kind of lift England up. But England, for me, remains the worst place on this planet Earth. That land is filled with the blood and the cry of innocent people. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you very much, our brother, and we appreciate that. All right. We do have a call on Skype. Okay, Messenger. All right. Call on Messenger. Good morning.
Yes.
Hello, call on Messenger. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, I brought you greetings from the beautiful Confederating State of Switzerland.
Thank you very much and welcome to the program.
Shabbat Shalom all.
Thank you.
My name remains Ifan Tuku Emmanuel Lokoyo Nkike. My contribution this morning is just to refer about our brother who called yesterday, the last caller of yesterday.
Okay.
I don't have anything to contribute for today's topic, but well, let me remind us that on the day the servant of God, Mazin Namdekan, made a broadcast of calling off the election boycott. The next day, his deputy Uche, that has sworn that this our platform will not see corruption. He said that now we have entered the second stage. So my fellow Biafrans, time has gone when we beg people to join the IPOB. Just advise people, go to the nearest IPOB around you and join. There's no time for begging anybody. The Holy Torah said, if I be lifted up, I will draw men unto myself. The servant of God, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, has lifted the name of God up. Then God will draw men unto himself. We don't have time now to beg anybody to join IPOB. Any place wants to be good and fine. When Moses and theft, how can a common man like me, to confront a Pharaoh? What did God said to Pharaoh? Said to Moses, go and tell Pharaoh that I am that I am that I am that sent you. God has spoken to Mazen and can go and tell Nigerians, go and tell Biafrans to prepare to leave Nigeria. We should forget about God, is how God is going to do it. The servant of God cannot bring Biafra. Only God will bring it. His work is just to send this message to people. Get prepared how to leave this country. And which he's doing now, and he has been lifting up God's name, and God will draw men unto himself. When the God have seen the number of people that are worthy, that Nnamdi Kanu have drawn unto himself, he will strike Nigeria. Nobody knows how he's going to do it. Nigeria will wake up one day and say, let these people go. So time has gone for us to beg anybody now to join IPOB. Just my personal opinion, we have entered the second stage, like our deputy and the servant of God, Mazen Nnamdi, has just said in the previous broadcast, in the day he lifted up the boycott. So we should not evangelize of preaching anybody now to join. This is a global. This is a glorious call, and only God will draw men unto himself. We don't beg anybody now. Sometimes I feel to just in this struggle, but when I see that God compelled me, not anybody, I remain. So God must bring those people who are sincere to serve Him, who are worthy to enter into that promised land. So that's my little contribution.
All right, Mazi, we appreciate that very much. Thank you very much.
Our Elohim guide all of us and lead us into the promised land.
He say.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate you for that wonderful contribution, and stay blessed wherever you are. All right, keep the call coming in. We have a caller on phone. Caller on the phone, good morning. Hello, caller on the phone, good morning. We seem to have lost him. All right, we'll have a caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the program. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling from Cambodia.
Please, can you speak up a little bit?
So I'm calling from Cambodia.
We can barely hear you.
Hello?
Can you project your voice a little bit more, as in speak to the microphone? Hello, caller, are you still there? All right, we'll have a caller on the phone. Caller on the phone, good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to the program. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Walter. I'm calling from Ipob. My pleasure.
Please go ahead and make your contribution.
I want to thank all of you for what you have done. Thank you for being there for us. But now, the person I want to complain, which is this our radio here don't normally come on as usual. One is it will not be working, it will not be functioning. It only comes once in a while. But before, whenever you turn to the Biafra, it will be on. Nowadays, it only come on air. So that is my first complaint. Secondly, my leader is working every day to make sure Biafra comes. Our Biafran brothers are took up for him, but because the Most High ordains this journey, we must get to that place. It requires patience. My Biafran should calm down. Let them not pressure my leader to do what he doesn't want to do for now. Let us follow him. That's why he's the leader. I know he cannot make mistake. God is with him. And any hand that rises against him will go down in the maximum of Yeshua.
Yes.
I want all of you to remain resolute. May the Most High let him bless us as we embark on this second phase. In the name of Chukwu, I pray.
Yes. All right, thank you very much. We've taken note of your concern, and I think the people in charge will take care of that. All right, we'll have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Master Victor.
Good morning.
Yeah, my brother. Glad to hear. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Welcome to the program.
May God bless both of you.
You see?
For me.
And bless you.
God bless Ishemofo, Maazi, Nnamdi Kanu, our able leader.
You see?
And all the hardcore Biafrans in the front line. All of us, God will keep us alive.
You see?
We restore Biafra. Name of our Lord, Master Jesus.
All right, Master, please go ahead and make your contributions, okay?
So, my brothers, what I have to offer this morning, as our brother from Russia says,
your voice is fainting. Hello, Maz, are you still there? I can barely hear anything. Okay, please do good to call us back, and we welcome your opinion, please. All right, we'll have a call on Skype. Call on Skype, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, call on Skype, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Yes, my name is Wachine Kojimba. Good morning.
All right, please go ahead and make your contributions.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, I've been trying to call you people for some couple of days. Yesterday I tried. Don't really know what happened. You guys are not picking my call. So I said, okay, let me
we are sorry about that. There's a lot of traffic on the calling time.
I want to thank all of you for the wonderful job you are doing. But before I continue, I want to quickly say what I wanted to say yesterday. Because one of the topic you raised was revolution. So, and I think whether we like it or not, Nnamdi Kanu has already started the revolution. But so many people are thinking the revolution would be like that of the fight, blood, killing. No, but what is doing now is what they call revolution of the mind. Is sensitizing our people, and our people are beginning to think like human beings. That's why today the Biafra can stand and point out to the Nigerians and call them so, because the way they reason is far from the way a normal human being will reason. And again, people made mention of the role the pastors, clergymen are playing today in freedom. But we have the issue, the likes of late Martin Luther King. He's also a reverend who helped to liberate Africans from in America. He sensitized them, told them, he even they did what they called civil disobedience. So if you look very well, you will notice that in the Western world you will see priests coming at the forefront to liberate their people. But I don't know, in this part of Africa, Nigeria precisely, would.
Hello, are you there? Oh, we've lost him. Please do good to call us back. All right, we have a call on the phone. Call on the phone. Good morning. Hello, call on the phone. Are you there? Oh, we've lost that one. All right, we have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Maz Victor and Maz Olia.
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Yes, I'm Mr. Maz Chukunenya. I'm calling from Italy, a native of Amanuke, Oka North, Biafran.
Thank you.
Yes, one thing I want to say that before the election, Mbaka said on newspaper that God told him that the man he called Buhari should not run the election. That means that he's not going to win. But at the end of the day, when Ipob started, that is the bazaar period, P2B Cup, and he said to P2B, bring money so that we prophesy, you will win. And P2B said he will not say what he will give, later we discover. Then he got angry and said, maybe you have already lost. Then at the end of the day, after the result, he released a song that his prophecy has come to pass. I don't know which prophecy come to pass. The one he said that he should not run, that the guy will, the man he called Buhari will lose, or the one, I don't know. These people are just deceiving them, and if you are there going to church there, you are just wasting your time. Maybe because sometimes it is very hard for a slave to know that he or she is a slave because of maybe the way they tied you. Then you will love the person to the end. You don't want to know when the person is wrong or not. Everybody should open their eyes. For the long system, Bakas said that whatever, adoration, whatever. And I do not say any good they bring to you, it's only make noise. So people should know that these people that come the same men of God are just there for their pocket. Of them are gamut. People, I don't know why it's very hard for you to see that this person is the one standing for you. And for you to support that person, you will leave that person and be, listening to other people. Our leaders are giving people open letter, open mandate to join our people. I think the best thing for our leader now, if he's hearing me, is to give us the deadline, the day that we don't need anybody again. Let us make a move, because giving them open field for long time is too much. Let there be a deadline where we can move on. If anyone doesn't want to enter, then when the bill will swallow the person. What God need to do is to join our POD, mostly the Biafrans, so that we will know when we are going and when we are asked to sit down and when we are asked to shout and when we are asked to play music. This is why you need to join it. Some people are running because of the contribution. Nobody is asking that you must contribute. Mostly here in Italy, some days ago, our coordinator made a meeting that the payment for the people that are not doing this thing is bringing them, they reduce it very low. People are consuming money here. If you bring 10 euro for a month, it's not too much. If you are here in Italy and you've not joined IPOB anywhere, you are just beating around the bush, because time will come, you will like to join and we will tell that there is no more space for you. Go to Ghana. When Ghana were pursuing the Nigerian people, if you say that to a Biafra, they will consider you. A friend called this radio, I think he said it. It's not easy. All like this place, the day that we start their stupidity, because everybody can change at any time and say that I don't want these people here. You can say, where am I going to people? I'm a Biafra man, my country is in trouble. They may allow you to stay here. So you hiding, you don't want to join the Biafra struggle here. Your life is in risk because you don't know what may happen next, and it's better for you now to join so that we know the next level. And also to people of the Abo, I have many Abo brothers. When I tell them about Biafra, they got me angry. I wanted to fight one of them because I was telling him Biafra, you tell me I'm not a Biafra. It's okay, no problem. But the day we come to maybe we need one of my help, I will tell them to go and meet up Nigeria people because I'm not in Nigeria. So people should know that there is no other way to restore Biafra than IPOB. When I were in Onitsha, I see the way myself is doing Biafra issue. I hate Biafra totally. Anytime they wear our uniform, do rubbish. But when I hear the voice of Nnamdi Kanu and how he's doing it, I am the one that begin to search for way to join until I finally join. So people should go and join this struggle to restore Biafra. And if you still think there is any other step to take, you are wasting time because the step has already been taken. The revolution is what we need, and the revolution is, it can come in different form than you think. Our leader is the only one that will take us to Biafra. Let us support him. Let us forget about envy and hatred from anybody. Don't listen from outside, because people listening from outside, that is why they got confused. If you want to get the real you have to come to the source. I thank you all for all you people are doing. It's a mighty, you people are doing a marvelous work, and God Almighty will bless you. Thank you, and keep
bless you too. All right, thank you very much, our brother, for that wonderful contribution, and of course, we do appreciate you for all the education you went as far as educating us. All right, we just need one last lucky caller or two before we call it a day, because our time has elapsed. All right, we have a caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, good morning. Hello, caller on WhatsApp, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you very much and welcome to the program. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Yeah, I have called before. My name is Mr. Shukwode. I'm calling all the way from Switzerland.
You're welcome.
From Oka province, Biafran.
Okay, please go ahead and make a contribution.
Yeah, what I have to contribute this morning is about so-called religious leader in our land, the Biafran land. I think all of us, we are not children anymore. As I am now, if you enter somewhere, somebody who called pastor or reverend or bishop or pope, is tribe. When you shut up and read my Bible and do my way. If I enter somewhere, somebody tell me that something that is white is black, that black is white. What I have to do is to take my Bible and do my way. I myself, I'm not born again before I left Nigeria. Even as I'm talking to you, I'm still born again. When I was in Nigeria, when I lived in Nigeria, I'm a member of Watchman Charismatic Renewal Movement. And the Lord's choosing. These two churches is where I used to attend, because two of them have the same doctrine, although they have different names. So, Bible says we shall know the truth, and the truth shall set us free. So, anybody who says that you're in one Nigeria, that person is not of truth. That person is a liar. That person is a devil. And we don't need to preach anymore about Biafran as
because of our time.
What I encourage your people down there to do is to reach for is to look for our family around them and register their name. Let us take our country back. As you can see, the so-called international community, they are thieves. There is the film I saw on the internet where a member of International Observer is helping APC writing results of INEC. International Observer is helping APC INEC now writing results. Then one black man approached them and asked them, "What are you doing?" They say the black man said he helping him. Then they asked him, "What is he helping?" The white man say helping him to write, helping him to write his document. They say we are sorry. They run away. So as you can see, those British the international communities, they are thieves, they are rogues. They are sucking our blood to make their own rich. Last time they shot for people.
Alright, Mazi, please, we have no time again. Can you please call it a shot?
Make them Great Britain and make India the poorest country in planet. Then now we don't know how much they have stolen in our Biafran land that make us to be living in abject poverty and make them Great Britain. So nobody help you like you help yourself. I encourage and urge our people that in the year, use your senses, use your tongue. That's punishing to everybody around the so-called traditional rulers, so-called prophets, bishops, pastors. Help yourself. Go to any our family meeting and join, because Biafra restoration is very, very, very close. One day you will sleep and wake up Biafra. You will sleep Nigeria and wake up Biafra.
And of course, that is why we will call it a wrap. I appreciate you for your concern. Alright, Mazi Bright Oriako, quickly, because of our time, can you just give your final words of advice to Biafrans?
Yes, Biafrans and lovers of freedom, it's not the time to sleep, it's time to wake up, because we have horrible situations facing us. All we need to do is stand up and, of course, join the nearest IPB family very close to you, and, of course, you'll be safe. Thank you for joining us, and, of course, I remember Bright Oriako.
Alright, thank you, all lovers of freedom. You've had it yourself. Find an IPOB family that is closer to you and join, because there is no time again. My name is Mazi Victor Onyido, and with Mazi Bright Oriako, we are signing off for now.